Hi everyone, we are in California. We have taken care of taxes. My eye infection is all better. We've been doing some shopping for Brisa, and we're looking forward to going back to her to play with these toys and gadgets that we bought for her. But first, we're visiting friends and family. And we're actually doing a boat project here, which we'll share, and some tips and projects that we haven't had time to share with you before. During the past 2 years that Lee and I have made Brisa our home, there are certain tools or tricks we have found to come in handy while living on board, and we think someday we will share this with our viewers. Since we are in California, and not all of you would be interested in seeing tipsy wine tasting escapades, I thought this would be a good time to share a little of what we have learned. For example, we always have a batch of yogurt going. I am not a huge fan of yogurt, but the directions and recipe I found on theboatgalley.com makes a mild, thick yogurt, which we find perfect for breakfast with sliced apples. Run out of fresh fruit? It's great with dried fruit and granola. If the batch of chili is too spicy, a large dollop or two of yogurt will tone it down. It's handy to have it around, and the beauty of the recipe is that it doesn't require fresh milk. It uses powdered whole milk. We use Nestle Nido whole milk, which is available all over Mexico. It is also carried in a lot of stores in California. We've found it easier to carry the powdered milk packets, as it's easier to tuck into oddly shaped storage compartments. And I also mark the packets with the month and year of purchase. UHT milk has a short shelf life. It's heavier and bulkier. Powdered whole milk, reconstituted, also has an acceptable taste in my book. The only downside is that it does take water to reconstitute, and if you are low on water, UHT milk would be preferable. And while thinking of water, I use a garden sprayer when washing dishes to cut down on water usage. When we are at sea or in a clean anchorage, I wash our dishes in seawater and rinse with fresh water from the sprayer. When we are anchored in harbors or dirty anchorages, I wash the dishes in fresh water using a smaller container than the sink to help conserve our tankage. I think we are middle of the road in our water usage. We have 80 gallons of freshwater tankage, and in winter it will last us 4 weeks, if we are careful. In summer, it lasts 3 weeks. On the future project list is a water maker. Needless to say, when we are ashore, we luxuriate in water flowing from the tap and have a newfound appreciation for the abundance. Oh, and another thing that occurs to me as I edit this video, it's the handiness of an infrared thermometer gun. I use it when making yogurt, checking the temperature in the cabin, the sea surface temperature, and Lee uses it to check various surfaces on the engine when it's running. Thank you, Jessica and Greg, for this well-used gift. There are always projects on the boat, and one that recently came along was something that had been bugging me. When I would make the bed in the V-berth, I would notice the greenish discolored stainless acorn nuts on the Whisker stay backing plate. I knew this was not a good sign, and one day when time presented itself, Lee and I decided to check the condition of the bolts. Sure enough, one of the bolts on the starboard side had corroded and sheared apart in the middle. We found another one in the same condition on the port side. We replaced all the bolts one at a time so we would not have to alter the tension on the stays, and stuffed butyl tape into each hole before inserting and tightening the bolt. This is just a stopgap measure, and on our haul-out list for the next time will be the removal of the stays, cleaning the hardware and the surfaces, and rebedding everything properly. We arrived in California with a recalcitrant Whisker Pole and the kerosene lanterns from the boat. The lanterns will be going into storage as we rarely use them, and they present somewhat of a hazard in rough seas. As for the Whisker Pole, our friend Scott has offered his expertise and use of his shop to effect a repair so the pole can be extended again.
Okay. These two rivets here rivet this pole onto here. As you can see, it's
oh wow,
across.
Highly corroded.
And so we're going to cut 1.5 inches or so out of this thing. So it's going to be 1.5 inches shorter, and then we'll rivet it back onto here.
What you have to do is drill out the rivet. And the trick is not to drill through this plastic and then into the inner pole.
So what was wrong with the rivet in the first place?
We need to get this pole out.
Oh, okay.
So this plastic piece retains the pole, we think. And so we had to remove this to be able to get this pole out, to be able to get to the end of this rope to repair the whole assembly.
Oh.
That just came right out, didn't it?
That was it?
That was it.
Wow. So the others were maybe more corroded?
Yeah, I think they were stainless and this one's aluminum. Ah, got it.
Turn it all the way.
Yeah.
Hey.
I want to go slide out.
Probably can now. I'm not sure which way it'll slide. No, it has to slide that way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll feed you line. Oh, somebody's caught there.
It's hitting on this.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this isn't. So that's.
So those rivets have to come out too.
They're becoming a stop, aren't they? Now I should be able to pull that thing.
Find that right now, huh?
Is this gonna have to come off, the plastic thing, or no?
I think I might just go over for this. Okay, hang on, ready?
Okay. Like that, huh? Okay, so that's the piece of the. How free is this? It should be free.
Yeah, that thing moves pretty good.
Is that?
Who would have thought there would be so much involved in taking apart a Whisker Pole? Now we have a shopping assignment when we head up to the Bay Area. New line at West Marine and stainless rivets. Join us in the next episode to see if we can get it all back together. So until then,